I know there was like a huge 3-week gap in there. I did not intend to take such a long gap. I was going to take off for Christmas, obviously, but then I got that super flu. So, this episode today, let's talk about something simple. Welcome to Outer Monologue. Okay, so life is not always awesome, right? I'm a really positive person. My default setting is optimism. But stuff is hard sometimes, and I get it. And we just had the flu, and that nasty super flu that was flying around Texas was hard. It sucked. I started feeling sick I didn't know I was feeling sick. This is a very Liza quirk. Possibly you all have this as well. My dad was heading up to see us for Christmas, and he called as he was leaving town and said, "Hey, I think I'm getting a little sick, and everybody here is kind of sick." And it's one of those, you only have so many holidays with your parents. So I was like, "No worries, get up here, it'll be fun. If you get sick, I'll take care of you." So he did. He came up and we had like a really fun night on the 23rd, just a great time. And then he was feeling not so great on the 24th. I also woke up with a headache on the 24th, but I assured myself it was just like a caffeine thing. I hadn't had enough caffeine. And so I drank 2 Celsius, like back to back. Because, what makes you feel better than just slamming yourself with a ton of caffeine? And still, I had the headache all day long. And the next day, even, I was still in the mindset of, man, I must really be going easy on the caffeine. But no, that was wrong. I actually had a very high fever. So once the body aches kicked in, like Christmas night, I realized what was going on and just took better care of myself than, pretending I'm like a meth addict with caffeine. But it was not great. But it still ended up being a really good Christmas. And I was still so glad my dad came. And we did all end up eventually getting sick, but it was worth it. It was just worth it. And I think sometimes it can build up in our heads like, hey, this is supposed to be perfect. And most stuff is not perfect. And sometimes it's even kind of cruddy. And I think it's so easy to get caught up in this is not going to be perfect. And for some of us, that kind of crushes us a little bit. Like I really wanted it to be this great holiday and, it was not ideal. But it reminded me of something. And that's kind of what I wanted to talk about today. It made me think, there was this video. I shared it with my husband before I started crying like an absolute psychopath after seeing it. And it was people asking parents, like who, if they could go eat dinner with anyone, who would they have dinner with? And they were like Michael Jordan, and some people were like Jesus. And you know what? I don't think anybody really wants to eat dinner with Jesus. Just FYI, I feel like the pressure of having Jesus over for dinner would be like sky high. So I don't buy when people say that, just in general. But yeah, so all the grown-ups, all the parents were naming famous people and people that they really, admired or looked up to, historical people. They took those same parents, but they asked their kids, who would you want to have dinner with if you have dinner with anyone? And the kids overwhelmingly said their parents. And punch you in the face, right? These kids are such cuties, but they were like, can we say someone in our family? Or does the person have to be famous? Can it be our mom? Can it be like our mom and dad? Can it be our parents? And you guys, that video wrecked me. Because I think really often we have these super lofty expectations for our holidays or just what our daily lives are supposed to look like. And we put so much pressure on ourselves. Like, I need to be doing this for my kids. I need to be providing this for my kids. I need to be giving this experience. I need to be doing this thing. I need to be buying them this thing or an object. And it's so much pressure. And maybe it's an eldest daughter thing, or maybe it's just a product of, when I grew up or whatever. But I do think there's so much pressure that we put on ourselves with what we have to be doing. And truth be told, our kids are just designed to love us. Like they're designed to love us. They want to love us. They want to be around us. They want to hang out with us. They want to love us. And man, we're so lucky. We're so blessed for that. And especially at our ages, right? I get that sometimes you have a kid and they're too cool for school or too cool for you. Like perfectly cool enough for school, but too cool for you. But for the most part, your kids want you. They want your attention. They want your affection. They want your love. They want you. And that's awesome. And nobody is more deserving of you than they are. So living up to that I understand where the pressure comes from, but they kind of like you already. So we can probably take the pressure off and worry more about just showing up and being present. So I guess the advice or the thought or what I'm doing, and I'm glad that I'm doing it and I'm going to keep doing it, is eating dinner with my kids as often as possible. Eating dinner at home, talking about our day, hanging out. They really just want to tell you what's going on in their lives or show you. And they want you to be proud of them and listen and to understand it and be that soft, encouraging place for them to land and laugh at their jokes and high five them when they do a cool move on the playground or when they handle a situation with a friend group really well. So I just think showing up is a really big deal right now for kiddos at whatever age they are. And just letting them know that you'll be there. Because man, that video just sort of wrecked me in a really good way though. Like in an important way. So take the pressure off, relax a little bit, and it can be pretty low key. Just ask them how their day went. Share how your day went. Let them know that you think they're cool and special and smart and pretty and funny and handsome and all the things that they want to hear from the people that they love the most. Thanks for listening.